Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Grace. In today's video we are going to learn how to cut this beautiful shade from start to finish. For the new ones among us and my returning subscribers, how are you doing? How are you coping? Hope you are doing well. Hope you are good. In today's video, it's actually divided into three components, which are the sleeve, the collar, and the shirt itself, the one you are seeing right now. So today's video is about making of the shirts, and our next video will be making of the sleeve. So we are dividing it into three parts, and the third one will be the collar. So I need this video to be well detailed. That's why I'm dividing it into three, so that we can carry the new ones among us. I need it to be well detailed. So without wasting time, let's get into the video. I start by folding my material into two like this. I want to cut out my working piece. So I'm actually cutting out my front piece first. I divide my hip circumference into 4 plus 6 inch extra. I also mark the length of this piece, which is 27 inch plus 1 inch for folding allowance, and it's 28. So I'm cutting it out. Reason why I add 6 inch to the width of this piece is because I'm going to remove my zipper. Did I say zipper? I'm going to remove my button for the front. My button space is 3 inch. I will add 2 inch for east allowance. I will also use 1 inch. I will make use of 1 inch for stitching allowance. So in total I have 6 inch. That is the reason why I add 6 inch to the piece. Moving on to my back piece. For the back piece, I'm going to divide my hip circumference into 4. Whatever I have, I will add 3 inch to it. You know, the back piece does not have a button space, so I'm adding 3 inch extra to the down of my back piece as shown. You get to know the reason why I add 3 inch to it. Just know that the back piece is longer than the front piece by 3 inch. Okay, while the front piece is wider than the back piece by 3 inch. And when I remove my zipper, when I remove my button space allowance here, we are going to have the equal measurement with the back piece apart from the length. So I'm marking out 3 inch now, and I connect it with a straight line. This is a space for the button, so I'm chalking it out and I connect it. I'm going to fold it in and pin it down. I want to pin it down because I'm cutting my front and my back together and I don't want it to shift. I will pin it down. Then after pinning it down, I'm going to place my back piece below my front piece. That is, my front piece, this front piece is going to be on top of my back piece. Then I will chalk out my normal measurement. As you can see, I have 3 inch down, and starting from okay, the edge of my material align with that of the front, the back and the front align, and also the center piece also align. I make sure I pin it down because I don't want any story that touches the heart. From the edge of this material, I'm marking down 2.5 inch, and I blend it to the center of our front piece. I'm cutting it out. Reason why I'm cutting one is because this scissors I'm carrying is not too sharp, and the material is thick, so I do that. After that, I'm going to shift it in a way that the aim line will align. It's only the next side that will be longer than that of the back piece, that will be longer than the front. For the aim line, they will be the same. I also pin it back. So I'm going to kind of fold my back piece on top of my front piece, lapping it with 1/2 inch. I'm going to fold it like this, making sure it laps the front piece by 1/2 inch. If you are not really sure of this lapping, I think you can chalk it out. You can measure it out. I think that is what we are going to do. Let's chalk it out for the sake of the new ones among us. So I'm marking 1/2 inch now. I mark 1/2 inch. After marking 1/2 inch, I'm going to connect it on a straight line. I'm going to connect it on a straight line. And when I place my back piece on top of my front piece, this new line I'm chalking out is where it will stop. The shoulder I work with is 14. Half of 14 is 7 inch. But because I remember I told you I want this shade to be very free on me, I add extra 2 inch for stitching allowance. And also from that 2 inch point, I'm coming down by 8.5 inch, and I'm going to connect it on a straight line. After that, I'm going to mark 10 inch, which is my bust span measurement. I will also mark my hip point. Which is 24 inch. Guys, make sure you measure your measurement, measure yourself and place your bust point and your hip point. For me, I have 24-inch, and the leftover will be the the length of my dress. The leftover will be the length of my dress. I connect it like this and I indicate. All right, moving on to the hip point. I'm dividing my hip circumference into 4. I divide it into 2 like this, and also bend the tape again and divide it into 4. Starting from that fold, I mark. I'm adding 2 inch for east. I will also add 1 inch for stitching allowance. I will also repeat that same mark at the end of my at the end of this dress. So I'm confirming the length again. Quarter of my hip circumference plus 2 inch plus 1 inch for stitching allowance. So I will connect those 2 points together like this. I'm also dividing my bust circumference into 4. I divide it into, I bend my tape like this, and I will further bend my tape again. Then placing it at that fold and marking the bust point plus 2 inch and also plus 1 inch for stitching allowance. So I'm going to connect it back to the hip point. I'm connecting it back to the hip point like this. For the chest line, I find the midpoint of my chest line and I chalk it out. I'm going to curve it starting from that bust point, I mean the chest line. I'm going to curve it like this. Guys, the reason why the chest line and the bust line almost look the same line is because at this open edge, this side seam we slant it by 2.5 inch, and that fold, is the normal measurement, so that's why it's like this. Otherwise it would have looked different. So for the depth of my neck, I make use of 3 inch, and starting from that fold, not that excess that we have, that fold I mark 2.5. I'm going to connect it with a curve like this. And these are neck for the front and for the back. Guys, you may be wondering which one is for the back. Just watch carefully the way I'm going to cut it. Honestly, this is for the front and for the back. After cutting it like this, I'm going to continue cutting that fold, and I'm going to make sure, if you have hot iron, press this fold in a way that the line will show, but I'm actually using my hand to press it so that that crease line will show, and I'm going to cut on that line. I'm cutting on this line like this. By so doing, we are cutting both the front and the back neck line. I'm also trimming out the excess material at the sides region. And guys, this is it. This is it for making of this shirt. It's very simple to cut. So I'm going to unpin it. I'm going to unpin it. I will open the button space for the front. I'm going to open it. The front needs to be open. It's only the back that will be on fold because of the button. I also notch my button space if you like, but I already know that I have 3" there. So at the aim of this, at the aim and at the side, I'm going up by 3". Starting from that button space, I go in by ½ inch and I'm blending it back to this 3" I came up with. So this is the shape of the shades I want. You can make any shape that you want. For me, I choose this one. So I'm cutting it out now. Guys, look at how the neckline look like. If you like, you can place your ruler this way and cut this part out if you like. For me, I'm not going to cut it out till when I'm done folding my button space. That is when I will cut the excess measurement there out. I put that aside. I'm using medium paper stay and I mark 1 inch, and I will make sure I mark 1 inch up to the length of my dress, and I will cut it out. So you are going to know where we are going to use this paper stay. Enjoy washing. So I'm going to cut it out. With this paper stay, there is a part that has gum on it. I'm going to place it at the back piece of my front dress like this. Iron it down. I've pressed it flat, and this is what we have. After that, I'm going to fold it again like this. At this fold already we have taken 2". So we are going to fold it again like this. So after folding it like this and pressing it down, we have exalted that 3" we added for the button space. We have exalted that 3" we added. So I'm going to take it to the machine and run a very clean stitch like that, a very clean one. So I will also repeat the same process with the other side of my piece. And we are on top of the machine right now. At that button space, please ensure that your hands, you make it a very straight. Keep your arm very straight and stitch it down. After that, guys, this is what we have. After doing that, this is what we have. You see this space, this back piece that is looking funny, you can trim that place out. Ensure that you trim it out. So I've already go ahead to join the other side of my front piece with my back piece. You see this excess that I said they show, when I done folding, that is when I'm going to trim it out. I'm trimming it now out. I've already done that to the other side of my piece. I will take it to my machine, right side facing each other. I'm going to stitch it down at the shoulder by 1/2 inch as shown. So after that, this is what we have. I'm going to trim the seam allowance at the back piece. This shoulder seam allowance, I'm trimming that one of the back piece, that one at the back. I'm trimming it off, and after trimming it, I'm going to fold in the front seam allowance like this in a way that it will face the back and conceal that rough edge. I'm going to run a clean stitch there, a very straight stitch on that line. And after that, we'll also repeat the same with the other side of our piece. Again, I'm going to fold in like this and run a very clean stitch, and when we are done, I'm going to bring it for you to see how beautiful it's going to be. It's going to look very beautiful. So I'm going to do that now and bring it back for you to see. And also, when I get to the machine, I'm going to stitch my side seam by 1 inch. I will join my side seam by 1 inch. Remember, we added 1 inch for stitching allowance, so I'm going to add 1 inch for the seam allowance. And when we are done with these two stitching, we are going to bring it out. I'm going to stitch the side and that shoulder. I'm going to fold it and run a clean stitch, and when I'm done, I will bring it for you to see how it's going to look like. So we are done, guys. Look at the shoulder, how beautiful it is. Even the inside is also looking beautiful. Can you see that rough edge is concealed? So that is the style we are going for. And also, I've also stitched the side. I've run a straight stitch at the side, and guys, look at what we have. It's looking beautiful. Guys, have you watched to this extent and you haven't subscribed to my channel? What are you waiting for? Is my video not detailed enough that you should consider subscribing? Please consider subscribing, because I have so many awaiting videos for you guys. After subscribing, turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. And this is the part, this is where we are going to stop for today's video. In our next video, we are going to work on our sleeve. It's time to attach our sleeve. Our next video will be on the sleeve. So stay tuned till I see you in my next video. Bye.